this episode, we're going to create some UI and have it display our players' stats that we started creating in the last episode. So first we're going to go into our hierarchy. We're going to right click there. We're going to go UI. We're going to scroll down and we're going to create a new canvas. For the canvas, we're going to set it to be a screen space overlay. You can set them to be world space, but for this one, we're going to keep it in as an overlay. And then we're going to change that it scales with the screen size. Then we're going to set it to the resolution of our screen, which is a 1440p screen. So if your screen's resolution is different, you can check it by going into your settings and going into your display settings on your PC, and it'll tell you what the resolution is of yours. If you're got a 1080 screen, that's likely to be the resolution that they use. That's probably the most common one, but you can check that on your screen. So once we've done that, we also want to set this to 0.5 to say it's halfway between trying to scale with the width and the height. As long as you set this to your resolution and to 0.5, it should scale pretty well with screen changes, because sometimes people will play your game on different resolutions and your game needs to be able to handle that. Okay, so now let's add some elements to it. So we go UI and add a text mesh pro. So we've added a nice little text there. We're really far away. So on the game, we can't see that. Why can we not see that? Oh no, we can see it. It's just in the background. So let's change the color so it's a bit easier to see. I'm going to make mine black. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it font size 60. As you can see, also we're going to center the text as well. If the text becomes bigger than the box, it just starts creating new lines with Text Mesh Pro. So to fix that, if you want it on one line, you just stretch this box out, and we're going to call this text lives. And then it doesn't really matter what it displays here because we're going to override it, but we're going to, for spacing, we're going to go lives equals, and then we're going to do, let's do 99 because that's more than we probably will ever let our lives be set to, and we want to make sure it fits nicely. I think what we'll actually do is we're going to go back to have it left fixed, and then let's move it to the bottom left of the screen. So it should be like that. So let's bring it in a bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to press Control D, and I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to move it to the other side of the screen, but I'm going to change this one's name to gold. I'm going to make it say gold. And then I'm going to make it be right fixed. And then I'm going to move it back a little bit so it's in the screen. So now, set this to 16. Okay, so we have a problem. See how it's moved our UI out of the screen because we set it up in a weird setup. So let's put them back. I just copied the Y so that they're perfectly in line on the Y axis. Okay, so now that they're there, now the gold should be able to handle the fact that I've made it a bit longer. So if we say had a larger amount of gold, it'll just move itself over until that many digits. So as long as they don't get that much more gold or more, it should be fine. But if I did want them to be able to get more gold, I can stretch that further. And now they can have this much gold until it moves itself down a line, which I'm sure your game won't reach. You could also use shortened forms if you needed to have larger numbers. Okay, so we've got our lives, we've got our golds text, and then let's add a UI. Let's go slider. All right. So this is not the normal use for a slider, but I find these are really good for doing health bars. Okay, so we're gonna drop down on our slider, and there's a handle slide area. I'm gonna delete that. We're going to have the background, and we're going to change the background's color to like a black. And then we're going to have the fill area, and we're going to change the fill to be red. And then on the slider, we're going to set its min value to be 1. No, it says 0, and its max value to be 100. And we're going to set it to whole numbers. Okay. So it doesn't matter that you have a little bit left on 0, because if the player's health reaches 0, you're not going to stay at that value. You're going to go straight back to. But as you can see, as we slide it fuller, it fills up our health bar, but not quite all the way, because normally there'd be a handle there. So if we get the fill and we move it just a little bit this way, and then we stretch it on its Y just a little bit. No, sorry, that's the wrong. What did I do? I just do to that. Is it still there, but just at the back? Okay, I don't know why. Let's just go back and do that again. Sorry, I'm just going to do it quick this time. So, good thing about Unity is you can always just quickly delete things and do it again when it does weird stuff, which Unity loves to do. Fill, let's make that red, background black, and then we're going to make our sliders min value 1, 0, maximum 100. Let's stretch that to 100 so we can see. We're going to move our fill across a little bit, and that is the x-axis, so we're going to stretch it on its x just a slight bit so that it is just slightly longer than that black bar. Can't even see, can you? No. But now, as the player loses health, we'll start to see the black. Oh dear, that didn't happen like how I wanted it to. I haven't had that happen before. Okay. No, I want it to fill left to right. That's not interactable. Okay, normally that is not a problem. What just happened? Maybe it's because I changed the fill area instead of the fill area. There we go. I think that's what you want to do. And then let's try that again. So let's slide that down. There we go. So don't change your fills dimension, change your fill area. So now, as you can see, we can use this slider to represent our health bar. Let's make the whole slider a bit bigger. Let's just scale it up. Maybe make it 3 times the size. I don't know. Maybe let's make it 5 on the X, like 4 on the Y. Make it. Let's just make it 5. Let's make it big. Make it a nice big boy that displays. Okay. So now we have a slider to display our health, and then we have 2 text elements to display our lives and our coins. Future Michael here, you might have a problem when you go to create your TextMesh Pro that you don't have TextMesh Pro imported by default on your version of Unity. This should pop up. It popped up on my second monitor, but if you click this, import, okay, wants to open our code, but should import all the elements you need for TextMesh Pro, and you should be good to go, and your TextMesh Pro should work then. See you in the next video.